A very good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunchtime News Bulletin here on Mtv Sports. I'm Shahin Jirampati. Let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon. Skeletal remains belonging to 136 individuals exhumed from the mass grave at the Martale Hospital premises. Number of leprosy patients increase. Professor Chandra Wickramasinghe says that the Sigiriya rock fortress has been constructed according to astronomical alignment. Now for the stories in detail. Director of the Buckingham Centre for Astrobiology at the University of Buckingham, Professor Chandra Wickramasinghe says that the Sigiriya fortress has been constructed according to astronomical alignment. He made this statement following a tour in Sigiriya.
A group including Professor Chandra Wickramasinghe are carrying out research in the island on the coloured rains that were experienced recently.
The pyramids have such astronomical alignments. Many of the ancient monuments in the world have alignments that are in some way connected with astronomy. So that's really what interested me.
NASA astrobiologist Richard B. Hoover also participated in the tour.
Tremendously important in supplying oxygen to the atmosphere and at the base of the marine food chain to produce food for fish and whales and the animals of the sea. But diatoms are also important because they appeared abruptly on the planet Earth about 150 million years ago. Before that, there were no diatoms. And when they appeared on Earth, they were very, very many different genera and species that appeared. The atoms are present in the Polonnaruwa meteorites that fell not far from here, and we find them embedded in the stones as well as other kinds of ancient life forms that lead us to conclude that they were in the meteorites when they entered the Earth's atmosphere.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa extended his congratulations yesterday to the top scorers in the 2012 GC Advanced Level Examination. 15 students who were placed first, second and third in the Science, Maths, Commerce, Arts and Information Technology streams were commended by the President.
President Rajapaksa also presented a 4-year scholarship and distributed laptops to these students. The Presidential Media Unit said that the President has instructed officials to commence academic activities immediately for students who have qualified to enter universities.
Meanwhile, the Inter-University Students Federation says that the government does not have a proper program to increase the number of students who are selected to universities in the country. Convener of the Inter-University Students Federation, Sanjeeva Bandara, expressed his view at a media briefing held yesterday.
The government said that the students from the 2011 batch will be enrolled in March. The students who received the results for the exam held in 2012 will be enrolled after an academic year is completed. Therefore, they will have to wait for over an year. This cannot be prevented. Although the government said that an additional 5,000 students will be enrolled, the government will not enroll another 5,000 students because it is the policy. Minister S.B. Dissanayake reiterated this. He said that only 25,000 students will be admitted to universities. Ideally, they should enroll 27,500 students, including the additional 5,000. The government is not interested in solving this problem.
The National Leprosy Prevention Campaign says that there has been an increase in the number of leprosy patients from 2009 to 2011. Director of the campaign, Dr. Nilanthi Fernando, notes that 2007 leprosy patients were reported during the first 11 months of the year.
පහුගිය අවුරුදු 10-11 තුල රෝගීන් 2000ක් විතර
In 2010 and 2011, around 2,000 cases were reported. There have been an increase in the number of patients since 2009. 2,225 leprosy patients were reported in 2011, while 2,007 patients were reported until November 2012. However, 90% have received immunization. Therefore, the risk of it spreading is low.
ප්‍රතිශක්තිය තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපිට බෝ වෙන ප්‍රමාණය හරි අඩුයි.
Dr. Nilanthi Fernando made this statement at a workshop on the National Leprosy Eradication Campaign sent for the 27th of this month. The workshop was held at the Northwestern Province Health Service Director's Office. Leprosy is a chronic infectious disease. The first leprosy case reported in Sri Lanka was in the 16th century, and in 1940 an immunization named Dapsone was discovered. A multi-drug therapy procedure was introduced to Sri Lanka in 1983 to help cure the infected patients.
Also making headlines this afternoon, skeletal remains belonging to 136 individuals have been exhumed from the mass grave at the Matale Hospital premises so far. The police media unit says this includes 122 skeletal remains with skulls. The skeletal remains were discovered on the 26th of November last year during the construction of a new building at the hospital premises. The remains were exhumed during excavations carried out from time to time. The police media unit says that excavations will continue at the mass grave. In more local news, the North Central Provincial High Court sentenced an individual who sexually abused an underage boy to 2 years rigorous imprisonment. North Central Provincial High Court Judge Sunanda Kumara Ratnayaka, who ordered a suspended prison sentence of 5 years, also ordered the accused to pay a compensation of 75,000 rupees to the victim. An additional jail term of 1 year was imposed if the accused failed to pay the compensation. A fine amounting to 10,000 rupees was also imposed on the individual, and if the accused failed to pay the fine, the jail term will be extended for another 3 months. The guilty was identified as a resident of the Horopatana area. 2 shops were destroyed in a fire that erupted in the Kudugala area in Abatana, Kandy. Area residents said that the fire had broken out at midnight. Thereafter, the fire was extinguished by the fire unit of the Kandy Municipal Council, police and area residents. Our correspondent said that 1 person sustained injuries in the fire. In sports news, the third match of the ICC Women's World Cup is currently underway at the Bravone Stadium in Mumbai, with Sri Lanka taking on England. Sri Lankan captain Shashikala Siriwardena won the toss and opted to field first. England captain Charlotte Edwards and Daniel Wyatt opened the batting for the English women. However, the English top order failed to produce a decent start as they were met with a good Sri Lankan bowling attack. Charlotte Edwards was the first to fall for 9 runs thanks to the efforts of Ishani Kaushalya. Daniel Wyatt scored 15 while Aaron Brindle was run out for 31. Johnny Gunn, however, resurrected the team with 52 runs as England posted 238 for 8 in their 50 overs. Ishani Kaushalya, Shamini Sriniratna and Shashikala Siriwardena bagged 2 wickets apiece for Sri Lanka. And that's our lunchtime news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shanjira Padi. Join us again at 1:55. Goodbye.